Hello, 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 everyone. It is the 18th of June, and this is one of our special events where we're shining the light on others, the people that really matter in Onpassive, the pillars behind the scenes in some cases. Some cases, no, they are out in the open, but it's time. We're moving into a new chapter where uh, it's important that as people watch us from YouTube or wherever you might be watching this, that there's people from around the world, all different backgrounds. And the beauty of this company, so you know, is no gurus allowed. I don't really mean that. But what I'm saying is anybody can come into this company and be successful. And that's the first time for me in 20 years. So I don't want to talk too much because I'll say something in closing. But thank you, everybody, for being here. We'll be doing this a few times a week. And I want to thank everybody here for being here. And I'm going to turn it over to Chris Johnson.
Thank you, Marty. Appreciate you. Good to see you again. Number one, welcome to all of you. This is a mixed panel of some amazing people from all over the world, everywhere. And I'm proud to know that I know each one of you, and you're very good friends to me. And I know your stories, but we want the world to hear your stories. So I'm going to get going. I don't want to keep talking. I want to bring out an amazing guy I think I have a lot of respect for. He also served in the military. He's got an amazing family, and he definitely is going to be cruising around on a Corvette. Eric Kesler, come on.
All right. Well, thank you, Marty and Chris, for having me on. And here we are with all our crew. These are my peeps. I love them. I'm just going to tell you a little bit about my experience with Onpassive, and I'm going to try to share it the way I did a few weeks ago because Chris said that's what he wanted. But I'm really into music, and everybody knows that. And the song that I like to use when I think of Onpassive is there's a song that goes, I remember finding out about you every day. My mind is all around you. And that's pretty much what it is on Onpassive. 4.5 years ago, I heard about Onpassive. I was fortunate enough to get into Onpassive, and I felt all of a sudden this feeling of relief because now I was into something that was going to help me market. I just had to find a business to market. Well, little did I know on down the road, Onpassive was going to be that business. So it's all in one turnkey thing. Anyway, so things started growing. There was a few thousand when I was in, I think 40, something like that. Next thing I know, there's like 100 and 150,000. I'm all excited. I'm telling my wife, I'm going, oh my God, this thing is growing fast. So next thing I know, we have like over 1.4 million, something like that, people in, and I'm just excited. And Ash just keep telling us that our ears are going to pop. Next thing I know, we're building an office in Hyderabad. And then, wow, my goodness, next thing I know, we're on the Burj Khalifa as a advertising on Burj Khalifa. I'm thinking, wow, this is incredible. And now we have offices in Egypt and all over the world, and it's exciting. And then later on, Ash closed for founders to be able to come in, and I'm just thanking God that I was in, that I made that. It was like being on the ark. Onpassive has saved my my internet butt, so to speak. I mean, I'm on the ark. I'm on the ark of safety, and Ash is moving. You can't find a better guy than Ash. He's a CEO with heart. I mean, he cares more about us succeeding than he does himself. If you don't believe it, then you just don't know Ash. So anyway, and then look at all these people are on here. We're not just, we've all been in businesses where we're striving to succeed. Well, this is a business where we want each and every one of us to be successful as we want ourselves to be successful. That's God's truth. It really is. And when we talk about what are we going to do when things really start popping, and we're not talking about doing this and doing that. What we're talking about is all of us getting together. We can't wait for that. So that's family right there. I'm really not saying the things that I want to say in retrospect, but I'm telling you, Onpassive rocks, and it's where it's at. And all these people are real. We all come from the same kind of background that we've tried other businesses and stuff, lost money, and they all crapped. Anybody that comes in Onpassive will be successful. That's just the way it is. So if you're thinking about it, come on in. If not, I feel sorry for you. But anyway, love Onpassive, love these people. I guess that's all I got, Chris.
That was perfect, Eric. It really was. Thank you very much. I think you had everything on the head. Now remember, we got a lot of people on here, and if something's repeated, that's okay. Just speak from your heart. Again, Eric Kesler, thank you for talking like you just did. It was awesome. This next gentleman I want to bring up is very, very far away in Thailand. And if everyone can mute, everyone's muted. Gemma, can you mute, please? Marty, can you make me co-host so I can hear some cheers once in a while? This next guy is, I have a lot of fun with him. I'm very, very good friends with him. We laugh every night. We laugh at each other mostly. And I want to bring him on, Mr. Casey Zevenbergen.
Thank you very much, Chris. I'm very happy to be here. And congratulations, Eric. That was a great talk. Look, I'm a mechanical engineer by profession. My whole working life I've spent in the oil and gas industry. I came over to Thailand when I was in my mid-50s for work, and I've never sort of left here. I've done some work here. At the moment, I'm retired. I came across Onpassive, I guess it was introduced back in, about October, November of 2018, and I eventually joined in December of 2018. So I've been with Onpassive for quite some time now. I was one of the co-founder. Ash had many plans at that time. He was throwing, his hands up in what he was going to do next because some things weren't working out. And finally, he's headed in the direction that we are now, and that is, Onpassive. We've got our Onpassive ecosystem. Everything is just going really, really smoothly, and I'm really happy that I did join Onpassive back in 2018 because I think things are going to be extremely good in the very, very near future. I've enjoyed being on with Marty and Chris usually every morning with Omanu. I love our trivia. I love our camaraderie, especially with Onpassive. I've never sort of had so many friends from all around the world, and I really appreciate every single one of you guys. I love all you guys. It's been a tremendous ride. I know that Ash is extremely busy at the moment, and hopefully one of these days we'll certainly get to hear from him again. I wish him well. I wish his family well. We are going to go to the top. We are all in it to win it. And I just love you guys. And thank you once again, Chris and Marty, for putting this together, because I guess everyone can have a bit of a chat. Sometimes it's great to be able to speak to everyone, and hopefully you'll get a lot more people joining you guys in the very near future. So thanks, guys, and I appreciate everything once again. And thank you. Thanks, Chris. Thank you very much, Chris.
Thank you, Casey. That was wonderful. And I of course, want to know Connect, so I want to do this for Eric and Casey. And we're trying to show you what we have. There's a lot of fun buttons that you can have. So, Casey, absolutely perfect. Thank you very much for coming all the way from Thailand into my kitchen table. I love it, brother. He's a what did you say you were? A mechanical engineer?
I'm a mechanical engineer, Chris. Yeah.
Gee, what does a mechanical engineer want to do with a passive?
Well, we do. Well, refineries. We build refineries over here in Thailand. We did a lot of construction work for international companies. They put it, actually they fabricate it in module form, and they put it on barges and send it Australia or the US. And then it's like a Meccano set. Once it gets over there, they just put all the pieces together, weld it all up, and commission it and get it started and produce oil or gas or whatever it may be for. So, yeah, excellent. I love the work. It's obviously completely different than network marketing, etc. Because I'm not a marketer. That's why I also enjoy being with you guys. I've learned an awful lot over the years just by listening. You don't necessarily have to speak all the time. It's just absorb the information, especially if you're new to the industry. And I've had a great time here working. I love my career, but I'd still do it if I could. But getting my age, no one wants. They want the experience, but they don't want the age people anymore. So, okay, I think Onpassive is going to take me all the way very soon. So, thanks again, Chris.
All right. Thank you, Casey. I'm going to have some fun with those buttons today because I want people to know how exciting this Connect is also. Casey, beautiful. All right. This next beautiful sister of mine came all the way from California, and she stopped by my house. She brought me goodies, and she really is just a sweet, lovable person. And I love her for it. And she's part of what they call the Angels in California with Julie and Terry. And we'll have you guys on too, but Sherry was on there with us last night. So Sherry Dursaway, she also does lives every single day, same time. She's consistent. I love her for it. Sherry Dursaway, the floor is yours.
Why, thank you so much, Chris and Marty, for having us on. What an amazing way to show the world what we're about. We're versatile and all that. I'm going to get to my story here. The first thing is I started back in 8/3/2018. So I knew what this was about once I heard Ash's audios. He only had 2 audios back then. And the reason why I got started was actually I'm a merchandiser and I got injured at work and unable to work anymore. I'm doing what I liked. I liked what I did because I was up early and had the rest of the day to do whatever I wanted to do, and got to meet lots of people. But I got injured, like I said, and I wasn't able to do that. I was in Robert Kiyosaki always said, if you need more pockets of eggs in different things. So that got me thinking, because I also at the time was doing an MLM networking marketing thing. And I had lost a lot of my self-esteem because of my back injury, because I use a cane now. So when I heard about, you got to have more things in, and then I was trying to find a way to promote myself. And, because like I said, I lost a lot of my self-esteem on that. So what happened was I came across the ad and then I answered it. And then, like I said, I listened to Ash's first 2 audio videos, and that blew my mind because you could feel his heart. Ash Mafar is our CEO of this company, and his lovely wife and family created this. But I could feel his heart. And I just knew higher power, intuition, which men have too as well. I just knew this was the place for me. One, I was trying to promote myself, like I said, and I was just shy a lot of money, shy a lot of knowledge and all that. So when I came across what Ash said, I was like, boomer, because you can promote your, because it's going to do the work for you using AI in a good way. So I said, oh yeah, I'm going for that. So, and plus what the main mission behind, or you want to call it a movement. I'm going to call it a movement. The movement behind why Ash created this and his wife and family was because he wanted to correct the corruption and help humanity. And helping humanity, I always wanted to do that because I've always known that other countries had like nothing compared to what we have here in the US. And I've always wanted to help in a higher scale, but I never had the means, and never either you have the means and you don't have the time, or you don't have the means, you don't have the time. Well, in Onpassive, you get both time and finances here. So to me, when I heard that I can help other businesses, because I used to be a business owner myself back when I was married, I said, yeah, I want to help other businesses, because a lot of your small businesses, they need a lift up, and so do the bigger business too as well. And Onpassive is the lift up for that and for everybody. It all started with Ash Mafar. It was just a thought, a drop. He was just one person, a drop. He said he couldn't do it by himself. Well, now we have over 1,400,000, I would say, pioneers, or whatever you want to call us. I would say pioneers who are helping with this. And it's not just me, and it's not just them. It is spreading, because the employees in this company are, wow, off the hook, man, off the hook. And then not to mention the customers that come in, they're going to have both I said, both time freedom and financial freedom. And maybe you've always wanted, you're just like me, maybe you got injured at work, or one of these other stories you're going to hear. trying to find a way just to make ends meet because it is terrible out there. So in Onpassive, you get that. And like Ash said, it started just like back, I might be all over the place. They had one drop and it was just him. Well, then it spread to an ocean, and we're all the big ocean here, which is spreading all the way around the world. That's another thing I love about this company is the people I have met. Look, we all met at the worst time possible in this world. And a lot of people were going through stuff, didn't know what to do. I didn't want to, they thought they didn't matter. They went through even our kids, our children, our grandkids, it went through everybody worldwide. And this platform called OConnect or Onpassive has taken it to a whole different level. I was able to meet all people from all over the world, and I call them my brothers and sisters because we all care for each other. That's the main thing. And let me tell you, you do matter out there. No matter what background you came from, no matter where you're at, who's put you down, you matter in this world. So I'm telling you, Onpassive is the answer because we're not just one thing. We're like a gazillion things. That to me is amazing. I couldn't imagine a company who could not just be one thing, but everything. I'm not just talking about digital products. I'm talking about other things too as well. Things we don't even know yet that are going to help our earth, help our world. That is what we need right now more than anything. It is a mess. And let me tell you, Onpassive is going to be here and we're going to be able to see the change. And you better have a crate full of Kleenexes because of the stories you're going to hear, the stories you're going to do, things that you're going to do to help not just yourself, but the world. Because Onpassive does it for you using the AI, direct targeted traffic to what you're doing. So I no longer have to pay for leads. I no longer have to call people. I can let the AI can set it and let the AI do the work for me. I've been wanting that because I know when I used to do the MLM, I had to buy leads, call them, and I just never got anywhere. I was spending tirelessly time on the phone and never got anywhere. And so with Onpassive, what I love about it mostly is it's here to help you. Whatever your passion is, whatever your dream is, don't let it go by the wayside just because somebody said, no, you can never do it. No, let it go in one ear and out the other. You deserve to be here on earth. You are a golden piece of this puzzle. And why not use Onpassive as your platform? Because it's not a matter of if you'll be an Onpassive. It's a matter of when you'll be an Onpassive. Because like I said, we're not going to have all these digital products that you're going to want to use because there's so many of them, lots that I don't even know about. You're going to want to use them. And you're going to see, wow, how come nobody's ever thought of this or taken the time out to do this? Well, let me tell you, there's a gentleman and his wife and family who are going above and beyond for not just me and not just these 1,400,000 people, but you and the world. Drop the mic on that. We are now be able to help you. That's right. We're going to help you and the world. That's what's important. And don't forget, you matter. That's all I have. Back to you, Chris. I guess you're all stunned.
Okay, thank you, Sherry. I was playing some sound bites for you. Wonderful. I love to hear your heart speak every day, especially on your lives. Keep doing what you're doing. And I think Sherry's single, just to let everyone know out there. Thank you very much, Sherry. I appreciate you. The next gentleman I'm going to bring up is a retired bad boy. What you going to do? And he's coming all the way from Florida. I've got to meet Ron in person. What a great guy. And let's hear what Ron has to say. Mr. Ron, the floor is yours.
Well, thank you, Chris. Thank you, Marty, for inviting me today. I really appreciate it. And hello to everybody on the panel and then everybody out there. A brief little bio. I was born and raised in Michigan, about 30 miles outside of Detroit, close to where Chris lives. I went into the service in about 1973 to 76. When I got out, I was a diesel mechanic. Came to Florida because my dad was pretty sick. Never worked as a diesel mechanic. I did odd jobs for several years, and owned a couple of traditional businesses. But I could never do what I wanted to do, and my dream was to be a police officer. So when I was 35 years old, I went back to school and got a GED so I could become a police officer. So on the side, since 1980, I've been in network marketing. And I love network marketing and different programs like that because of the freedom that you can have, and you have no cap on what you can achieve. So in December of 2020, an upline from another company called me, and she wanted to tell me about this Onpassive thing. So after giving her a hard time for several minutes, I decided, okay, as a favor to you, because you're a friend, I'll take a look at it. So being my background as a police officer, I did some due diligence on Onpassive and on Mr. Ash McFarah. And what I found that Onpassive was a real thing. And Mr. McFarah has been successful in several different things that he's done. He's always been a top performer, which really encouraged me to tell me that he was the man to follow. So on December 14th of 2020, I joined Onpassive, and it has been a wild ride since then. I've got to go to Boston. I've got several other occasions of talking with Ash. I met Ash in person and saw that he was a true, genuine, heartfelt man towards everybody he meets. And his vision is to have a company that takes care of us and raises humanity through the world. And I've always been in some kind of a service-oriented business, and that's what I think Onpassive is. We are going to take care of ourselves and our family, and then we are going to help take care of people in need throughout the world with the things that Onpassive is going to bring towards us. So I want to thank Onpassive, all the tech teams, and then I want to thank Mr. Ash McFarah for what he's brought to the table. This platform is one of the best platforms you could have because, trust me, since 1980, I've done a lot of them. And I was never part of that 3%. Okay. I was always in the high 90s. That doesn't make it, or doesn't make any money that was promised that I was going to make. So the nice thing about it is Ash doesn't promise how much you're going to make. He tells you if you do it right, you stick with him, you put your heart into it, you tell the truth, you be straightforward, you're going to be very successful. And I want to tell anybody listening to this, or who will listen to this, you're missing the boat if you don't get involved with Onpassive. We have our own train station in Dubai. Like Eric was saying, we have 2 floors of the Burj Khalifa in Dubai. We all have offices in Egypt, Singapore, and all over. So we're just not in the USA. We're global, and you can be part of it. And we would love you as a team member to come along with us. So that's what I got, Chris. I appreciate it. Back to you.
Sorry, I just love playing with those buttons. Ron, excellent. As you can see, Ron's been through quite a journey in his life, and he has parked himself in Onpassive. So, Ron Hubert, thank you very much for being here. Now, I'm going to change the order of one person because William DeLorme has to go. So I'm going to call this wonderful guy, William DeLorme. We call him the Marshmallow Man because one time he said it was like kissing marshmallows. So, Mr. William DeLorme, the floor is yours, sir.
Thank you, Chris. I have a great opportunity here. That's understatement. now that I'm going through a challenge, I see that with the business up and other people going through challenges, I can help them find a way to gain passive income, not just for me, for them. As you see on this shirt, you see WordPress WordCamp. It's where you go and learn about, say, WordPress.com, WordPress.org, shows you how to build websites. But I did dabble in the internet, and it seemed to me that you have to spend $50,000 before you make a dime. That's not right to me because I haven't got that kind of money. And I'm seeing this where everything's under one umbrella. I don't mind spending money, but I have to make some at the same time. It doesn't make sense. And Ash says he's going to fix this corruption. So I really like that. So this is where I'm living. I'm living in hope to get up, walk, go to Georgia, my sponsor, and not having to deal with this winter. Colds are not good for me at this point. It's a real challenge to go through something like that. I want to get better. I can go and go to the where he plays soccer and go up the stadium, running up and down the stands. That would be awesome. If I can do it, anybody can do it. You can imagine. Look what Ash is going through. Reminds me of Arnold Schwarzenegger, what he went through. Pumping iron every day. And then I asked him, he said, "What are you doing pumping iron every day?" "I'm going for gold." So he can, all the trouble he went through for the movies, they said he could never be an actor, and all the naysayers, he listened to him. So that's where I believe Ash is at this point. So I'm going to leave you with the hope for the best. A new chapter is what I'm looking for. Thank you, Chris.
William DeLorme, excellent, excellent. I'd like to tell you the history of William, but you can find out by asking him yourself. He has got more faith in his fingertip than most people have in their whole bodies. William, I love you for it. And kissing marshmallows is what we are doing, brother. Thank you very much, William. I know you got to go, so go catch your appointment, brother. Thank you for being here. I'm glad you texted me that. All righty, this next lady is straight from Michigan. Beautiful voice. She just retired. I believe she's in, well, I'm going to let her tell you, but I know she's in social work. I'm not exactly what her title is, but she is part of something that's going to help out with my daughter. A lot of things to come with people with mental illnesses or disabilities, and I'm excited about that. So on that note, Joyce Parker Hicks, come on down, and it's not your birthday.
It's not my birthday. Thanks, Chris. It sounded like it was my birthday and everything else. Thank you, Chris and Marty, and hello, everyone. It's just so exciting to be here on today, and I'm really excited about Onpassive and the things that are to come, but I am a master's licensed social worker by profession, and I offer mental health services to families and individuals. So with mental health and with the field of social work. It's just a broad field. And then I love helping people. So when Onpassive found me, it was just a perfect fit, because Onpassive is all about helping people, and that's what ASH is all about, is about lifting up humanity. So this was just like the perfect fit. When Onpassive found me, I was at the end of my rope. I had done so many online businesses, and I had done MLMs and all these other things. If you name it, if it's out there, I probably was in it over 20 years ago. But I always think, like Marty says, it's like so many things out there, and you can do it, but other people can't do it. So it's not duplicatable, and it's not retainable. People don't stay there. And I knew in my heart that I wanted to find something that was out there that would be duplicatable, where everyone was on the same playing field, and that it would be done for you. And that was my biggest thing, is like, if I could find something that was out there and that would do it for me, because with the online businesses and everything else, you had to put so much money into it. You had to put so much energy, and the more you pour in, the more they want it. So the more you give, the more they want it. So it just pull and drain you dry. And I said, it has to be something better than this. And then along comes this business called Onpassive. So I heard Fred Lenswinger brought it to me, and he's no longer with us, but he was a sweetheart. And I said, Fred, what are you doing? So he sent me a couple of videos of Jeffrey Morlock and Mike Ellis. And I'm like, I was totally blown away. And I'm like, I didn't understand Jeffrey, because, Jeffrey talks this language that's way up here. And he was in a whole different language about computers. I do social work. I don't do computers. I don't do any of that technology stuff. But what he said resonated with me, and it made so much sense. And then when Mike talked, he just explained it so perfectly that I'm like, I have to do this. I said, send me the link. I didn't ask any questions. And over 4.5 years ago, I joined Onpassive. I have not looked back. It has been like a lifesaver for me, because I've been able to talk to people and just to explain it to them. It's like, I don't have to do anything. Ash told me just to show up, to be present, and to support. And who could ask for anything more than that? What CEO tells you that? He didn't tell me to go out and buy all this products. He didn't tell me to go pay, hundreds of dollars every month. I paid $97. And I've gained a wealth of knowledge and information, and I've gained so many friends and family. You guys here on the screen, it's like, you're my family. It's like, I love you guys. I love Onpassive, and it has been just a game changer. I've learned in the last 4.5 years more than I've learned in over the 20, 30 years that I've done these businesses out there. And I'm so glad that I told my husband that I would never get in another MLM, and Onpassive comes along, and it's not an MLM. It's just a totally different business that offers a totally different set of skills. And Ash always says that you have to have value. Onpassive has brought so much value for me that, people would pay thousands and tens of thousands of dollars to learn what we've learned here. And it came along at a time when the pandemic was going on, and people, like someone said, people were going through so much, but it offered a platform where we could come and talk. We could laugh. We cried. We did, oh, bless. I mean, it was so many things going on that we learned, and we gleaned on each other. We learned from each other. And I'm just so grateful and thankful that God put this into my life, because I needed Onpassive, and I needed you guys in my life. So I'm just so blessed, so grateful that we are here together, and the journey has been amazing. And I'm just so excited about what's to come. So you see the smile on my face when I talk about Onpassive. I just get really excited, and I start talking fast, and I start saying all these things. But I am just so grateful to be on this platform, to be in this movement, to have met all of you guys. And people that I would have never met in my life. And you guys have changed my life tremendously. You've made a difference in my life. And like I said, I'm just so blessed. I'm so thankful to Ash and his family. And by the way, I did get to meet Ash in person. And Marty, this story that my husband, oh my gosh, so that's a whole nother live, right, Marty? But Ash is he's a wonderful person. He's human, he's down to earth, he's loving, he's caring. And I am so blessed that we have a CEO who cares about people truly, and his heart is for people to uplift humanity and to make sure that everyone wins. And right now we're in the right place. If you're not here and Onpassive, come on in, join us. You'll be in the right place, and you'll be blessed that you did. Thank you again, Chris and Marty. Thank you, everyone. Love you guys and appreciate the opportunity to speak. Thank you.
I love those buttons. Joycey, beautiful, intelligent, Yeah, the only problem with Joyce is her husband likes Marty and doesn't care about me, but that's okay. I'm joking. He's a great guy. She's got probably one of the greatest families I've ever seen. They are always celebrating a birthday every single day, and I love watching it. Joyce, you couldn't have said it any better. Thank you very much for showing that beautiful face today. Okay, there goes Michigan. This next individual is a very good friend of mine. I'm going to say that he's put on a lot of miles in his life, and I'm going to let him explain that. Mr. Mark Olson, come on down, my brother.
Hey, hey, hey. Oh, my name's Mark, not Chris. How y'all doing? Yeah, I come from people out there like me, but I always thought that I was unique. I've never been really into computers and stuff. I'm a certified chef by trade, and a long time ago, I was an experimental chef. So I went through that, and then at that time I was also an addict. So 30 years ago I got sober, and it was like another change of life. I mean, we go through these cycles in life, and 30 years ago I got into a program that changed my life, and it was all about finding a higher power and doing for others, and putting them first instead of concentrating so much on self. And then I got out of restaurants, and I I built locomotives for General Motors for about 5 years, and then they sold out, and I became a truck driver. All this time, I got into a few of these little internet things, but life goes on, and I had kids to take care of. I took care of my oldest sister I have for the last 15 years, and a good friend of mine stayed into the internet thing, and he came to me. He's like, "Man, you got to listen to this. You got to listen to this." And I watched one of Ash's videos, and I was like, "Man, this all sounds really familiar." And then when Ash came out and he's like, "I am not a CEO, I am your friend." I have never heard a CEO say, "I'm your friend," and that kind of convinced me to look into it more, and when I started looking into it, one of the things that really caught my eye was, I have a real good memory because of things that I've done in my past. So one of the biggest things that interested me was the one username password sign on for everything. Go into an ecosystem, and as they add products, you get to check them out, and you get these. The mail was just like beyond I couldn't even comprehend it. Couldn't even comprehend it. Then they told me there was a safe social media, and I don't trust my kids or my grandkids on social media, let alone any of these other ones. But when I started looking at this, it just was like, oh my God, this is what we need. We need something like this. And I started talking to other truck drivers about it, saying, "Hey, you can check this out. Check this out. I mean, you can be out on the road anywhere, and as long as you got an internet access, you can do anything. You can keep in contact with your family. You can, have meetings amongst other truck drivers." And then I got out of truck driving because I came down with leukemia. And that's when I started looking into the more videos and joining clubs and waking up in the morning and seeing Crazy Chris and Wild Marty and watching Red, and then all the videos and stuff we were able to watch to I mean, I don't even consider any of the employees that are doing all our team is what I want to call them, because that's what they are. They're doing for us what we cannot do for ourselves. I know nothing about business or computers, but man, just by paying $97 back in 2020 and having people work for me doing things beyond my control. I'm a truck driver. I'm a cook. I'm not I don't know nothing about numbers, but hey, now I got a friend called Mike Ellis that knows a lot about numbers, or Michael Williams that just got a brain that it might be in here somewhere. I probably lost it, but I doubt it. You know, I'm just an ordinary person. I'm not. I'm not a suit and tie person. Hey, you'll see me in a t-shirt. I don't care where I'm at. T-shirt and a hat. Hey, we're good to go. But I've met millions of people. In the program that I'm in, I can go anywhere in the world, make a phone call, and I'll have friends at the other end inviting me in. Not even meeting me before, inviting me into their home. Now I've got 2 programs with millions more friends that I haven't met, that I believe would do anything for me, because everyone that I've met so far within Onpassive has a heart just like what I have, and we coincide just like that, so if you're not in it, get in it, because if you don't get in it now, you'll get in it later. That's the way it's going to go. I mean, there's a plan, so go Onpassive. Back to you, Chris.
Cheers. Well, thank you, Mr. Mark Olson. I didn't know about the locomotive. I think that's pretty cool. As you can see, he's an average dude. He's a lot like me, t-shirt and hats. And listen, let me tell you, truck driving is not an easy job. It's horrendous on your back. I know a lot of friends that are truck drivers, but I'm glad that you came to Onpassive, Mark, because you just spoke probably for like 20 billion people in this world, if there is any, that they got the same heart. So, Mark, I am glad you were here, and thank you for coming on to us. And way to go!
I wanted to say
yeah,
hi.
your dog, I love it, because he's like, well, what's this, Dad? I want to check it out. Check it out.
Every time I get on a webinar, she has to jump in behind me.
That's okay. This is called real. This is called real people, real lives. So it's perfect. Right. All righty, thank you, Mark. Now this next guy, where did he go? He's you at first to think when we first met, he was real quiet, kind of just laid back. I think that's because he was sleeping. I wasn't sure. And then one day we did a talk with him, a little interview, myself and Marty. And this guy had us laughing so hard it wasn't funny. Now, I love him as a brother. I love him for his heart. He's very truthful and honest to the point. Please welcome my brother, Scott Pendleton. Come on down, Scott.
Wow. Now I know why Eric wanted to go first. Because everybody says everything that you want to say before it gets to you. There's nothing left to say. If you're not in Onpassive, you're missing the boat. It doesn't matter if you're rich, poor, handicapped, black, white, green, yellow, purple, smart, dumb, doesn't matter. You need to be Onpassive. If you're a shut-in, if you need friends, you need to be Onpassive.
Very good, Scott. Hold on. Let me do the.
No, well, I was hurt on the job when I was a courier. I was hurt on the job, couldn't work anymore, become a shut-in, and a friend introduced me to Onpassive. I've been in Onpassive for 3 years. It's the best thing I've done in all my life. I've got so many friends, so much to look forward to now where I didn't. I'll be able to support my family, no problem. And I don't have to do anything but what Ash asked me to do, which is very little. Just be in it and you'll win. So
take your time, buddy. Take your time. Scott's very emotional.
It takes it doesn't matter if you're shy or don't like talking at all or talk too much or Onpassive can change your life.
Thanks, Scott. That was beautiful, man. I appreciate you, brother.
Thanks for having me, and I'm sorry I cried, but
you never have to say sorry for that, Scott. You know that.
I just can't help it sometimes.
Nope, you're wonderful who you are. You just showed your real self, and I love that. And I want to say something here real quick because there's a lot of people on here. You notice a lot of people on here or in the past have said Onpassive has changed my life because Onpassive has given people hope that they never had before. Like Scott, like a billion other people that were hurt on a job or hurt and they couldn't work, and as he calls them, shut-ins. Onpassive is for anyone that wants it, no matter what their condition or situation. Scott is living proof of that. I love him, and a real man does cry in front of people. And yeah, you drew some tears out of my eyes there, brother, but that's okay because crying for me releases a lot of stress and anxiety. I love you for it, Scott. Thank you very much for coming on here, and you were awesome, brother.
Tears cleanse the soul.
That's correct. That is correct. Okay. Scott, I'm sorry. Where are you from again? I always forget your state.
I'm from Texas.
Oh my God. How did I forget everything big in Texas? Look at that beard. That says it all. Scott, thank you very much. All right.
Thank you.
You are welcome, my brother. Now, these next two ladies, I'm going to introduce the first one first, are sisters. They are completely opposite sisters, but they love each other. Together, they are exciting and funny. I pick on them all the time because they pick on me and we have fun with it. And the first sister, I've called them the Twisted Sister, the Bobsy Toots, but they are truly two beautiful ladies who love life. They're from Trinidad, grew up in Trinidad, if I'm not mistaken. And they both have a different flavor. And if you ever come on trivia, you can hear them rooting each other on. So let me bring on the first sister. I will try to say her last name, but she's going to correct me because I haven't got it right in 3.5 years. Miss Lisra Tuak. Did I say it right? Unmute, Lisra. Unmute yourself.
You were pretty close, Chris.
Pretty close.
Thank you, and Marty, for having me on here today. And see, Scott, I know I didn't want to go after you. I told you I have a Kleenex right here and I'm doing this. But anyway, I love you. You have come a long way since I've seen you on here, and I'm so glad to have you as a friend, to see you every night. You're an amazing guy. Thank you. Anyway, let's talk about Onpassive and how I came to be in this incredible business. And it is incredible. I have this friend, and she and I were in a hair care, skincare business at the time. In fact, I brought her into it. And while we were doing this, she heard of Onpassive, joined, and she didn't say a word to me. It was after a while, she told me, she says, Lisra, I have this business that I want you to look at. And I'm going, what are you talking about? We are in the hair care, skincare business. This is what we're doing. She says, I know, I'm not leaving it, but I want you to look at this. This is something I've been hoping and praying. And this is what she said. I've prayed for something like this all my life. And this is it. It's finally here. I want you to look at some videos that she sent to me. So I said, okay. And I didn't look at them at first, but after a while, she called again and she says, well, what do you think? I said, oh, Helen, I didn't look at them as yet. She says, let's try to look at them. So I said, okay, and I did. And I understood some of that. It was of Mike Ellis and Jeffrey. Now, not knowing anything about a business like this, apart from LMM, which I was scammed so many times and lost a lot of money, I said, okay, let me try to learn what this was all about. And as I was saying, I didn't understand a lot of it, but some of it made sense. So she called me again and I said, okay, sign me up. And I go, she said, oh, no, you have to sign yourself up. We don't touch your credit cards, which, number one, I loved. She says, nobody is seeing that, only you. You sign yourself up. And I thought, okay, and I did. I didn't really look into everything else at that time, but I love to say this. Robin Noble, I was speaking to her once and she asked me if I was attending webinars. And I said, no. I mean, I was petrified of the thought of having to talk in front of all these people. So I said, no, I wasn't. She says, let me tell you, this is how you're going to learn about this business, Lisra. Start attending webinars. And I did. And I sat there and I wouldn't speak. I was petrified half the time. I couldn't do it because I was always an introvert and I couldn't talk in front of people. Now I cannot shut up. But anyway, I kept, after that, it was one webinar after the other. And then I found myself opening up because I was encouraged. And when you have encouragement from the amazing leaders like Mr. DeGamo and Chris and Red and quite a few others, you find it becomes easier because you realize, hey, they're big leaders, but they're people. And they encourage you. They want you to be successful in Onpassive. So I dropped everything else. The hair care, skincare went to the side and I just dropped it. And I started doing this like full time. Now, my life was full. I have my children, my grandchildren, my sisters, brothers, and everyone. And they've always been supportive. But with this, they go, oh, come on, not another pyramid scheme, they called it. And I'm going, this is different. And they go, oh yeah. But then I stopped even arguing with them. I said, keep your ears and your eyes open. That's all you have to do. I am done explaining or trying to Just keep them open. Look and listen. And since then, and this has been a few years now, I don't get into this with any of them. This company, no one outside of it, the ones who aren't in here, they don't understand. And I used to say this, you got to be plugged in to understand what is going on here, where this is taking us, where we are going in this company. If you're not plugged in, you're not paying attention, you won't understand. You just won't understand it. Okay, I don't understand everything still, but I'm learning every day. Every day is a new day. And this is how you learn. This is what I'm doing. Like, you know, Mark Olson said, he says, we're ordinary people. Yes, we are. But we are in a powerful company. And because of that, we can also feel powerful. And I know that this is making me feel like nothing I've ever felt before. I'm encouraged every day. My life is full now than it's ever been before. And what I love is when Ash says, we are the correction to the corruption. What a strong remark, phrase that is. Because you know that only a genuine, clean person thinking about the rest of the world can say something like that, and it will come to pass. He is going to make what he said then. Every phrase that he has, and he's got quite a lot, every one of them we are seeing. It's real. It's real. And it's going to continue that way. Because Ash is a genius with a heart for humanity, which is what we need in this world. What I want to do, help myself and the family, but I want to help look after, especially the women and children out there, because we know a lot of them are suffering. The children, seeing them on TV or anywhere else, when I look at them and see what they have got to go through, it breaks my heart. And I know that I want to be there for them. I want to meet some of them one day. I want to hug them. That's my goal. Thank you, everyone. And right back to you, Chris.
Very good, Lisra. I love it when people talk through their heart, and I think you just did that very well. These aren't, a news break. These are not paid actors. These are real people, just to let you know. And Lisra she's up there with a top-notch, classy lady. She'll tell you I tease her all the time, but she is first class in my book, and she's definitely as we call, a Grey Poupon lady. She's just wonderful. Thank you, Lisra. Beautiful words. Now to bring you to the other half. I'm not going to call her name yet, because not only is she educated, just like her sister, she's traveled the world. She's got stories from the world. And like I said, she grew up in Trinidad. If I'm mistaken about that, correct me. And she knows a lot of things. She's one of my competitors on old trivia, and she drives me crazy sometimes, but I absolutely love her with all the heart. She's a beautiful lady. Miss Gemma Rameke, come on down.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. Thank you, Chris and Maddie, for having me on here. It's wonderful to be on here this early Tuesday morning. I want to thank everybody in the chat also for being there listening. Now, Chris, you should not have put me after my sister. How am I going to follow that? But anyhow, you're right. I came to Canada from Trinidad and Tobago in 1972. And I worked in the bank for almost 40 years. Then I quit in 2005 and went to the school board. So I worked for the school board for 10 years, and I quit there when the pandemic started, when COVID hit. And I've been home ever since. But as you said, I've traveled quite a bit. I've always wanted to help people. as Lisra said, children and women, you guys knew we grew up without a mother from a very, very early stage. We were babies. And we always wanted to help children who didn't have parents in the orphanage. And we both have the same goal when coming to children and women. Now, my main reason for joining Onpassive, Lisra tried to get me involved in 2020. And at that month, I found out I had some medical issues. So she called me and she said, Gem, I learned about this. Do you want to join? And I said, no, I just left it and never bothered. She phoned me about 5 days later and she said, come on, Gem. I sold so many MLM stuff. I lost so much money. I decided, no, I was having this medical problems. I wasn't going to get involved in anything else. But finally I did. And then, Chris, you basically saved my life in a sense, because I started, Lisra said to me, the only way you can get involved is by listening to the webinars. So I came on what do you call your stuff again? I forgot. I'm losing my mind.
Lives.
No, what you gonna do?
Oh, bless.
Oh, bless. I came on Bless and I brought a couple of people on there and I started listening. I said, wait a minute. I've been doing this and traveling, trying to help people since 2006. And here is a way I can help more people by getting involved in this. So I came on one of Obless, and then Ash was on, and he ended up talking to me, and I talked to him about the wheelchairs I was doing in India, and he said, Gem, if you need any help, let us know. Now, what CEO will talk to you and tell you, if you need help, let me know, I can help you, or offer that help, which sort of made me realize, hey, wait a minute, this is real. You know, not following Lisra anymore, this is real. I'm going to follow Ash Onpassive and Chris. And then I started listening to more webinars, and as I couldn't speak to anyone because I always went too fast. That's the Spanish in me. I went off and on. No one understood most of the words I was saying because I tend to eat my words when I speak. But now I can speak, I think clearly for you guys to understand what I'm saying. And my goal is always to connect with people that have a strong connection or a strong urge to change the world and to lift humanity up. And here I found it. So I'm moving forward with this, try to help as many people, to help lift humanity up as much as I can, and hope I can continue my travel. My medical problems have been solved. Thank God I don't have a problem anymore, so I can, do much more. And I thank you guys for listening to me, and I hope we continue having more webinars, and I continue speaking more and learning more. Thank you very much for having me speak.
I cut them off because they're a little long. Gemma, wonderful. You and your sister, you don't know what you bring joy to my life every day, because you both are just fun. I'm sorry. I love meeting fun people, and two different kind of people, two sisters from the same roots, traveled the world, and both have the same thing in common, as they just want to help. So Gemma Rameke, thank you very much for coming on today and spreading your great word. I seen Brian on here. So now this next lady I want to introduce. She's done a few lives in her past. She's never really spoken on a webinar, but she's on every webinar, and the attendees. And when I try to get her on, she's a little shy. She's actually my family. See if I say this right. She's my brother's wife's brother's wife. I said that right, I think, right? And I'm interested to hear her say, because I don't think she's shy. I mean, real quick story, because I don't want to keep talking. At my mom's funeral, her husband, who is a big burly guy, and he's crazy and he's fun, and I thought, oh boy, here it comes. I'm going to hear it. He pulls me outside. He shakes my hand. He goes, I want to thank you. And I'm sweating. No, I thought I want to thank you for getting my wife into Onpassive. She's happier. She loves it. And it just made her life change completely. And man, I felt so relieved after that. So on that note, I want to bring on someone who's in my family, the first time ever live on a webinar, I believe, Miss Tanya Hennard. Come on, Tanya.
Hello everyone.
Hi, Tanya.
Geez, Chris. Anyway, so where do I start? Okay, so I've been married for 29 years. I have 4 kids, 12 grandchildren. believe it or not, 12. And I came on to Onpassive. I seen Chris make a post actually on Facebook. And I thought, oh, whatever, $97. I might as well join. And, you know, it's the best thing I've ever done. I don't come on because I am shy. I don't like to talk too much. And I did get my family in, believe it or not. Some switched over. Some are still hanging on. My kids, my daughters right away. My boys, they think I'm crazy. They listen to their wives, I guess. I don't know. And but they don't say anything to me. They're just, Mom, how's it going? Are you there yet? You know. And I came on because I've working 2 jobs, but now I'm at 1. And Chris, you're crazy. You like cleaning houses. I do that every day. That's my job. And my poor knees, needless to say. And let's see, my daughter was in college, and I thought, well, this would help me, you know, pay her college. But as I've been on, I've thought about other things like the vets. Why does the vet have to sit on the corner and beg for stuff? You know, that's not fair for everything they've done for the country. And then you see kids suffering, you know, the parents not taking care of them right like they should be. And who knows, some might not be able to like they should. My parents were foster parents for 8 years. So I've seen a lot through the years with little kids. And I like to help out there someday. And I guess that, but anyway, I'm happy to be Onpassive, and I like to listen in the background, and I appreciate everyone. And of course, I'm always crying, and just like a few minutes ago, thanks, Scott. But thank you anyway. Thank you.
That's what I'm talking about. Never before comes out, and it's hard for me not to talk. Here's a lady that I've known for a long time. Worked multiple jobs, big family, kept it going, kept it straight. Seen one of my silly posts. I probably was a cartoon post, I'm sure, back then. And she joined, and I was in shock because I'm thinking, if you know our family, it's the toughest crowd of all. But Tanya, I am forever blessed to have you in my life. I appreciate you coming out. I'd love to see you come out more, but you don't have to. But everything you just said came from your heart, and it's your real story. The stuff that you witnessed in your life is things that you now know that you want to help fix, and I love that. Tanya Hennard, I love you. Thank you for being here today. Boom, baby, boom.
Thank you. Thank you.
Another one coming out of the woodwork, and wow, love it. Okay. And I can chirp her up a little bit. She's my family, so I'm going to do that. All right.
You're muted, Chris.
I'm muted. Okay, we're going to go. Did you hear anything I said before, Tanya? I hope so. Tanya, I love you. If you didn't hear that, I'm thank you for doing this. This next lady is, I've met her in person. I've known her for 3.5 years, 4 years, maybe, I think, through the internet. She's got quite a story to tell. She's crazier than me. And when I say crazy, I mean she's fun. She's full of life. She's full of energy. And she wants to go, go, go. I love her with all my heart. And I want to bring on Miss Pam Turner. Come on, Pam.
Woo! Wow, what an introduction. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Marty, both of you for having me here. Hello to all of you. I consider every one of you my sisters and brothers. And I have met, somebody's missing now, but at one point there were 5 of you on here that I've met and given hugs to. And that is the most precious thing. I can't wait to give everybody hugs. So my story, I heard about Onpassive in January of 2019. Somebody that we all know and love, Miss Robin Noble, offered to, she said, does anybody want any more eyes on the products that we were currently selling in a business? And I answered and I said, sure, what's going on? And she told me a little bit about Onpassive. And my first thought was, first of all, $97 at the time, which we have gotten back. I don't think anybody's mentioned that yet. We have received that back. So basically for free, we've signed up. I signed up. And my thoughts were, first of all, I'm not going to go bankrupt. It's only $97. And secondly, my dad was an aeronautic engineer, and I grew up with a lot of technology without even realizing it. But my dad always was on top of all of that, and so my thoughts were, it's technology. It's not going anywhere. It only keeps getting better and better and better. And my prime example was, remember telephone lines and party lines and then cords, and look at us driving down the freeway now, hands free, talking on the phone to anyone in the world. That's technology, and it's not going to go anywhere. It only continues to get better. So it was a no-brainer for me. It's like, I'm in. This past 5.5 years has been so educational. It could have been $9,700 and I'd have paid it for what I know now. Um, I know Chris always laughs at me when I always throw out the age thing, because at 73 now, but at the time I was like 69. I've learned so much since then. I didn't think I was ever going to learn this stuff. Oh yeah, I'm saying a lot too. I'll have to stop. The information that I've learned about computers and what we have available, all these products, and how we can communicate with people around the world. We've now got friends around the world. People have been saying, oh, I know who it was. It was William that left. Meeting William was a treat. And I have to just say something. People have mentioned about Scott coming a long way, and I see that too. William DeLorme has come a really long way. And the fact that he's walking more now, and a lot of that is because we've all had faith and belief in each other and become friends, and our love has grown, our hearts have grown. And I don't throw this out there a whole lot because I keep a lot of my stuff private, although you guys wouldn't believe that. But I believe with all my heart that God put us all together because we have one main thing to do, and that's to bring peace and love around the world. And I feel like I'm on stage trying to become Miss America or something, and I'm not. I've always believed that. I believe that there's no need for all the fighting and all the ugly. And because of all of you guys, we're going to make it beautiful again. And I love you all. Thank you so much. I can't wait to give more hugs and meet everybody. Mwah. Thank you, guys.
I did that just for you, Pam, because I want to show different buttons that we have. But wonderful. You said our love and our hearts have grown. To me, that's worth millions of dollars, billions of dollars. There's no price on it. So I appreciate you, Pam. And yes, she did say her age. And for once, I didn't ask her. But let me tell you, at 73 years old, she's got more energy than a 22-year-old. I'm going to go one better than 21. And I thank you for being on here. I love you. I did get to meet her. And yep, she's crazy just like me, and I love her. Now, this is the guy. She didn't tell about her little story, but I will real quick. I'm the next person. These two met through an Onpassive, and they now are together. They're happy. This next guy has to try to keep up with this 73-year-old. He likes to change her oil and keep her car running and everything right perfectly. Joke, Kevin. We call him Kevin Mountain Man Rutledge. He really is a gentle giant. He is very tall, but he's a very humble guy, and he couldn't have found a better lady than Pam. And I'm very introduced. Kevin makes our posters for us, and until 3 o'clock in the morning this morning, which I'm sorry, Kevin. I'll try not to do that to you again, but he got it done. Kevin is a straight from the heart kind of guy and straightforward. Mr. Kevin Rutledge, please turn your mic on.
Well, thank you. That's quite the introduction. And yes, Pam Turner's probably, or is the best thing that's happened to me so far. Since in the last 5 years, easily, but probably longer. Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to join you guys. And hello to everybody on the panel, my family and friends. You know, I got all kinds of notes in front of me here, and I got a mess is what I got. And I really don't. I think I'm going to go a little different route. A little bit about me. I was a carpenter. That's how I made my living. I did that for 27 years, and you know, there were still times where it was thin. You know, with the bills, getting the bills paid with kids and everything. And so I got online trying to, you know, find a way to, you know, fill in the cracks a little bit. And initially it was all about making money. It was all about, you know, getting to a place of security. And early on, I heard that if you want to be successful online, you need to figure out how to solve a problem. And if you can solve a bunch of problems, that's even better. And when I changed my mindset, and that became, you know, the reason, you know, that I was trying to succeed, was that I was trying to get myself in a position where I could help others. And it changed everything. It changed everything for me. I was fortunate enough to run into a fellow that I trusted. You know, he told me the truth, even though it wasn't always what I wanted to hear. The problem I had early on was I just didn't do the work. You know, I was a watcher. I like to play. I like to think I was in business. And you know, I was never hungry enough. I was never, you know, thank God, you know, I was never in a position where I was needed that extra money like I thought I did. But anyway, along come Onpassive, and I was like Joyce. I was in a spot where I was about done with it all. You know, I knew that it was one of two things. It was either corrupt or I wasn't going to do it. You know, I mean, so it wasn't going to work for me. And but the thing that got me with Onpassive was automation. That's the word I heard, was automation. And I also heard AI, and I heard that you know, it was going to be different, and it has been. It's been totally different. And you know, I'm an average guy. I'm just a simple guy. But we are not simple people. We are not average people. I don't think so. I used to think we were. I think we're exceptional people. I really do. And the reason I say that is because we want more. We want more for ourselves. We want to be able to do more for others. And we're out there looking for ways to do that. And I think that makes us exceptional. I can't say it, but I think that's what it does, you know. And I think Ash is exceptional. You know, I didn't know it, but what I was looking for was a way to give back, a way to. I was looking for a purpose. You know, I lost my purpose, so to speak, and that's what Onpassive has done for me. It's given me a purpose. It's given me a reason to wake up in the morning excited like a teenager at 63. You know, because I know, and you know, with every fiber in my being, I know. How do you know? How do you know, Kev? Because I can feel it. I can taste it. I can smell it. You know. I've never been more sure about anything in my life. I made a decision a while back, to turn my life, my will over to a higher power, and to go through life different. I was on a path. I was on a path of destruction, and I am so fortunate. You guys have no idea how fortunate I am. Y'all might think, he's fortunate because he's on Onpassive. But that's just the icing on the cake. I'm not supposed to be here. I'm about, 6 times. I don't know. Cat has 9 lives. I've gone through at least 6 or 7 of them. But I am blessed beyond measure. I've met a wonderful woman that I'm going to spend the rest of my life with. We're on the same path. We have the same mindset, the same goals. I met a bunch of people that have the same mindset, that want to change the world, that we've already changed the world, and I can prove it. I don't know why anybody wouldn't want to be a part of this, but there are some. I mean, there's a very good way to live, and people don't want to be a part of that. I don't understand that. These guys had me make these posters and stuff, and yeah, last night was I'm going to be honest with you, it was a real pain, because it came in late. There was a lot of, elements on that particular graphic, and I was struggling. I was having a hard time. I was thinking a lot about myself, and I learned something last night. I learned that if I will just be patient and just let the power work. I got up from my laptop. I took a little walk, I was fit to be tied, is what my mother would call it, fit to be tied. So I took a little walk, and I settled down, and I came back, and I finished what I was doing. And today I have victory, because whatever that was battling me last night didn't win. And I think that's all we're asked to do, is that every day we get up and we battle. We go to work. We do what we can to make a difference. And at the end of the day, we get to say, you know what? I did what I could. And that's what I plan on doing. That's what I plan on doing from here on out. I mean, and I've got a vehicle like I've never had before. I've got a platform. I've got a group of people around me that I've never had before. I've got confidence that I've never had before. Got faith that I've never had before. I don't know. I don't know how you define all that. I don't know where it all comes from, but I'll tell you one thing, I'm hanging on with both hands. I'm not letting go. And like I told you, I know that I'm on the path. I know that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and I've never been more sure about that than ever, and I don't know. I don't feel like I'm making a whole lot of sense, but I hope that the thing that I wanted to say is that this movement, this company, this business, whatever you want to call what we're doing here, it makes me want to be better. It makes me want to be better. I've never had that before. I've never had anything that, well, one other thing made me want to be better. And this thing parallels with that so much, it's uncanny. But I've rattled on long enough. I love y'all. I love what we're doing. I love what we represent. And I love the change that we're going to make, that we've already made. Y'all just keep fighting, you keep hanging in there, and you keep doing what you're doing, because we're on the right path. And love y'all.
Wow, Kevin. What a way to end this. What a closer we have here. You said something that I've heard a lot of people saying in the past also is I was on the path of destruction. And somehow, and I'll say not the magic of Onpassive, the love of Onpassive has changed him. There they go. I thought he was going to get down on his knee and say, "Will you marry me?" But these two have came together because of Onpassive. Faith, I believe in it. Kevin changed his life completely around because of two reasons: that woman standing next to him, and Onpassive. He's brought his own light out from his own darkness. So, Kevin, thank you for sharing that story. It was absolutely wonderful, brother.
With a lot of help. With a lot of.
That's all right. That's what we're all here for. We're a family. So, and I know that you don't need anyone's help. You got Pam. So,
We both need help. Are you kidding?
yeah. Well, you'll help each other. But on that note, before I turn it over to Mr. DeGarmo there, Marty, my brother, I personally want to thank everyone that came on here. I don't want to say how proud I am of you, because you already know how proud I am of you. Thank you if you've never came out and talked before, Miss Tanya. A couple of you that really talked today. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Like I said, these are not paid actors. This is real stories of how Onpassive has made them feel, the hope that they have, and the faith they have in this company with Mr. Ash Mafara. And I think you're all beautiful. And I love every one of you. And I can't wait to meet all of you someday. It will be fun. Trust me. On that note, I'm going to hand it back to Mr. Marty DeGarmo. Marty, go ahead.
Wow. I was thinking about doing something like this for a while. I thought this would be really good. I was wrong. It was great. Absolutely fantastic. Hearing from everybody. And, I want people to know that are watching this today, next month, or whenever. These are my extended family. Brothers from other mothers and sisters from other misters. But it means a lot. I was looking for something like this my whole life since I was in my 20s. Problem was, Ash would have been about 10 years old, and he probably couldn't have done what he's doing right now, so I had to wait. But no, I really appreciate it. I did market. I did build teams. I did all the stuff you think is great. The problem was everything was rigged against 99% of the people. And Onpassive made it different. And seriously, if anybody's looking and you want to be part of something that lifts you up and helps you become 100% you, this is the place. I don't talk a lot about the products because I don't need to. They're going to be the best in the world. They can sell themselves. But if you're looking for a place where you can feel good, we all have 20/20 vision in our heart. It makes a big difference. And I want to appreciate everybody that came. It was, like I said, way beyond what I expected. And I expect a lot in Onpassive and all of you. I've known you for years. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. It's fantastic. And this is going to be seen by millions of people one day. Anyway, thank you very much.